platform came about, I was alive.
Great. So, good evening, everyone. So, we are back with our Pieces Power program and today for the evening, we have Vinay Babbar as our guest, a life coach. And welcome, Vinay. Thank you for coming on board.
As pleasure is all mine. I definitely honor this presence. Thank you for inviting me here.
So, as you know, the theme of our program is Peace is Power. So, I'm going to put that question to you. How would you define this term, peace is power?
Yeah, when I was, trying to contemplate on this whole topic, so at the first instance, I was looking that these are all completely different, contradictory conversations. When you talk about power, so where is the peace when Russians are showing power against Ukraine, or Israelis and Hamas are, using the powerful tools to against each other, and that's a war. And where is the peace here? It looks like a very contradicting topic. However, when you talk of power in general, power as the innate power inside out, and that is something where I can relate to. When you are really peaceful from inside, you're so powerful deep down that you don't want to hurt, or you don't want to do anything which is not desirable on this earth. So, because you don't need anything more. So, if that is the power that we are talking about, then yes, peace can lead to power. Of course, peace, to understand peace, we have to dig more deeper. But if that is the individual power where you don't need to invade, you don't need to do anything, you need to show, you need to express, need to prove, that is the power that you're talking about, then definitely the innate peace leads to that power.
Yes. So that is exactly what we mean, that yes, peace gives us the power to spread more peace all around us.
Exactly. Exactly. And the paradox is when people say that power is all about being powerful, like to really show your power. So the paradox is people who show their power have to prove their power. They're not peaceful from inside.
Right.
There's a lot
Exactly.
of things going on inside. Yeah.
Very
As
true.
a person who's shouting, person who is getting irritated and getting frustrated, and then the person feels so powerful. Okay, I've won a discussion, I've won an argument, but what it leads to is not peace around, the chaos around. So that's
Right.
we definitely can discuss. And the subject that you really talking about is happy thoughts. I'm going to talk more on that.
Yes, yes. Please, I was going to ask you that you promote the concept of happy thoughts. So how would you relate it to the peace of power, peace is power concept?
Yes. So happy thoughts is that one thought which we talk about in our organization. I'm associated with an organization by the name Tejgan Foundation, and this Tejgan Foundation's mission is to spread happy thoughts all across the globe. And we have been there in more than 50 countries and almost every state in India. Now, the point I'm trying to make is here that happy thoughts is that thought which can spread happiness all around. But where is that happy thought coming from? So happy thoughts are coming from a space where you are moving away from good and bad, peace and chaos, failure and success, is moving beyond. If happy thoughts is that place where there is a joy which is beyond the duality. So if you talk about the perspective of happy thoughts in respect to the peace part, so peace is not the absence of chaos. Peace is not the absence of noise. Peace is, despite of noise, are you finding your own peace? Peace is beyond noise and stillness, not the stillness, the noise and peace, and then that peace, that beyond peace. So this, if that peace is accomplished, that is the real power. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say if I am having a conflict at my workplace, and there are a few ideas where I'm not able to convince the other about certain things, the way things has to work, things are to be working, and there's a conflict on those ideas. Now I can keep on having conflict, I can keep on having argument, and person will say right and wrong. I keep on getting into the situation of right and wrong, right and wrong. But the moment I say, let me go beyond the situation, let me see the situation from outside. And then what really happens is start understanding what is the real motive of that person who is wanting to have that discussion or the argument. Maybe the person wants to feel right. Maybe the person wants to be acknowledged. Maybe the person wants to feel peaceful. I mean, the striving is for peaceful. And the moment I listen to that unsaid about that person, the whole perspective changes. So I'm no more being in right or wrong situation. I'm actually understanding the person. I'm rather than the person has to understand me, I understand the person. And then that happens, a new idea emerges, a new conversation starts happening, and there is a peaceful conversation, and we end up, parting up very happily. That's the piece I'm really talking about.
So
Moving
you
beyond
really
wrong.
simplified it a lot. Okay, that's all you need to do. Just step back and take a different perspective about it. But
Exactly.
what stops us from doing that?
Okay,
People are
what's
not able to do that.
yes, exactly. And that needs a practice. We cannot just move from that space of right and wrong to immediately go to that space of peace. It needs a lot of practice. It needs a lot of, sometimes when you're doing practice, you make mistakes. You may make mistakes. You may get into the space of fear, may get into the space of feeling bad about certain situation. But that is the journey that you have to traverse, and you cannot just have that space of being peace and being power at just one go. We have to practice a lot. We have to go to that journey. So yes, when you go into that distinction, when you start from the distinction that peace is actually beyond the duality, so that is where you start bringing life into your peace path. So in short, if I have to figure out and sum up, that peace is life, and what chaos and noise or what other absence of peace that you're talking about, absence of noise is talking about, is something which is a space of ego. I'm going to talk about the ego in a while, but this is what my question is, my perspective is: how can we move beyond the duality of right and wrong, good or bad, happiness and joy, happiness and sadness? If we are able to transcend beyond it, that is the peace I'm talking about.
So how to bring that awareness into our life that yes, we are in that space of duality and we need to go beyond it. How do we do that?
As I said, it needs a practice. It's a consistent practice. You of course,
So
consciously
could you give
positive.
some steps,
Yeah,
some pointers about it?
yeah. So there can be many steps, and based on what I follow is a methodology which makes my day since morning, since the beginning of the day, which I always purport in my sessions at Consciously Positive. Of course, one way to go to that level of transcendence is to attend the Consciously Positive sessions every morning at 8 a.m. The other thing that I practice and follow is the Savers model.
Mhm.
It's SAVERS. So right in the beginning of the day, so when a moment first get up, I don't just go on immediately check my WhatsApp and phone, and I just be in silence for a while. I close my eyes, maybe the 5 minute meditation or 10 minute meditation. I just do that. When I then I just go out of the bed and then start visualizing how my day is going to be.
Mhm.
Okay, this is the day I'm going to face those situations. I'm going to handle that successfully. So that is where I become the witness of the situation. I'm already out of the situation right from the beginning. I started practicing of becoming out of the situation because I'm witnessing and I visualize and I give power to those situations which I'm going to face during the day.
Mhm.
That is the visualization part. It's called V part.
Mhm.
Prior to that, I also do the affirmations. So, I give message or give message to my mind that this is how I want my day to happen. I,
Mhm.
I'm powerful. For example, the one affirmation I always give to myself is I'm a strong, peaceful, emotional, and joyful and divine soul. So I
Mhm.
give that affirmations. I mean, similarly, I give a lot of affirmations to my side. I'm powerful, I'm courageous. So I have that affirmations diary with me. So I do affirmations, but I don't do it. I just don't write it. I go out in a bathroom, in the washroom, and in front of mirror, I speak loudly so that it goes into my head.
Mhm.
That is the affirmation part. And then V is visualization how my day is going to be. And
Mhm.
then if I don't do the exercise part, even if it's 5 minutes workout or push-ups or probably running, So that's not going to give me any kind of happy chemicals, Then the whole exercising of affirmation visualizing goes for a toss because my mind and my body are not in line with each other. So I also do some kind of exercise which gives some happy chemicals, which actually helps me out catalyze my whole day, and that's how I do. And then even for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I ensure that I do some kind of reading.
Mhm.
Okay, I go on to Amazon Kindle and or probably read a book, or probably read some articles, even for 5 to 10 minutes. I haven't read a newspaper for many ages now.
Mhm.
So I read some self-development books, or any other article, an article by Sadhguru or any other spiritual master. His Guru Sashri. I read that self-development books. There are a lot of books here. So that is reading. And the last part is called S, which is called on the part of the syllabus is called scribbing. I ensure I write minimum 10 lines,
Mhm.
minimum 10 lines a day, which actually gives me power so that I understand, this is what I feel, and maybe a summing up of the day, summing up the 45 minutes in the day. Now, this savers activity takes about 45 minutes. And this is
Mhm.
what I have done it. I am doing it. I'm getting used to it now. Now, when I do this, what actually I'm doing, I'm actually taking charge of my life.
Mhm.
Now, no, it's no more the situations
Mhm.
are making me feel down or bad or what. So I ensure that I move beyond the situation. I move beyond the right and wrong. So
Mhm.
whenever there is a conflicting situation, whenever there is a challenging situation,
Mhm.
so I immediately shift from the situation and move beyond it. And that's
Mhm.
how I face it. Not that I'm successful all the time,
Mhm.
but it's a regular practice. Every day I, do the practice. Sometimes I feel very down when I pick up my phone call and reach out to a few healers. One of them is you standing here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sometimes I do that. I fail at some time, but I don't crib about failing.
Mhm.
So I failed it. Yes, I failed it
Mhm.
miserably. Sometimes I failed miserably, but that's okay. Give some space to yourself, and that's how you progress.
Mhm.
So this is one modality that I practice. Probably you can have your own modality, but the idea is what can you do so that you can transcend beyond
Mhm.
the situations.
Mhm. So beautiful insights. Thank you so much. That is a very powerful, I think, method if you are able to adopt the savers concept of yours. Great. So, Shabanaji, would you like to ask something?
Yeah, more about happy thoughts. Like how, like I think happy thoughts would only emerge when someone had a peace inside. If there is a lot of conflict, you don't think happiness. So, uh, yeah, so I really like that idea of happy thoughts. And if you can, give some example of how do you practice it?
Okay. So let's start from the word called thoughts.
Mhm.
Thoughts and mind. Whatever we are saying right now is a result of we choosing one kind of thought and saying something here. So similarly, we have about 60,000 minimum thoughts that travel throughout the day in our mind, and most of the thoughts are repetitive thoughts. Now, many times we are so unconscious, we just get swayed about those thoughts, and we think those thoughts are the reality. Okay, we think that if there is a fear thought comes up, we become the we are so fearful. So sometimes when people people make us feel down, and we start complaining, oh, I'm feeling so down, I'm feeling so low, I'm feeling so high. So we become victim of our thoughts
They
consistently.
also say thought creates reality.
Exactly, and that's what exactly the next step is. So because we give so power to every little bit of thoughts, and we have been so passionate about it. For example, if you are having conflict with your wife or a spouse, and your spouse says something to you, okay, you are good for nothing, and then you start, explaining or justifying, how dare you can say that, you cannot say that, I do so much, you are bad, and you get so much of power to that particular thought, and that becomes a reality, and that becomes a conflict, and that becomes an argument, that becomes a war, and this becomes so much of chaos around. But if you just see that is just a passing thought that's come to you, and become a witness of those thoughts, and when you become witness of all those thoughts that comes your way, and you do kind of meditation sometimes, so you actually go and transcend that situation, and that is a place of joy. That is a place of joy, because when you move beyond this thought, when you become the witness of those thoughts. Let's say if I say this is my hand, I don't say this is me. My hand is not me. This is my hand. Similarly, my mind is not me. It is my mind. Similarly, my thought is not me. It is my thought. So that means I'm the controller of my thoughts. So I just witness all those thoughts which comes my way, and I just don't go and after that those thoughts. That's where I become the owner of the thoughts and choose the thoughts whatever I like. If a good thought comes up, I choose it. If a bad thought comes, I just reject it. Or sometimes even I go beyond that thought. That is a place of joy. That is a place of joy, and that is real called happy thoughts, right? That's where I can give you one brief meditation. You can actually experience happy thoughts right now, but it'll take about 4 to 5 minutes. If you allow, we can just do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go ahead with it.
Okay, sure. So, Shabana, but am I able to get to the point that I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yes.
Sure. So I'm just giving you one brief meditation. I will take only 2 to 3 minutes. You can just experience that happy thoughts for a brief moment of time. So I just ask you to just sit straight with your spine straight. You don't have to feel stiff, but the spine has to be straight right now. And what you're going to do is just ensure that you are focusing on one point on the wall, and with busy eyes, like the way you watch the news and you suddenly falls asleep. So just the busy eyes, just that ऐसी आंखों से देखना है और आंखें धीरे धीरे बंद कर देनी है. Just start closing your eyes with a little dizziness in your eyes. Okay. And when your eyes are closed, just focus on your breath as it's moving in and out. And just give number to every thought that comes your way right now. Any number. 1. Let's say we start with 1. Now you have to increase the number as you receive those thoughts. The next thought is number 2 thought. For example, when you say that this is a session which is going on and I'm closing my eyes, this is just one thought. Next thought is what's going to be next. That's the next thought. So give number to every thought that comes your way and increase that number by 1. If you feel uncomfortable, that is also a thought. Give that number as well. If you're feeling confused, that is also a thought. Allow that to happen and just give that number and repeat it. Not repeat it, just continue it. If my voice disturbs you, that is also a thought. Let's also give that thought a number. Any uneasiness is also a thought. And give that thought a number 2. If you are forgetting the numbers, go back to number 1 and then continue. And if you're able to continue, you can continue from that number, which is the next thought that comes your way. So many thoughts, so many distractions. It's just a thought. Whatever comes your way is just a thought. Give that thought a number. Good, bad, idea, creative idea. It's just a thought. Don't open your eyes, just see that as a number. If you feel like opening your eyes, don't open your eyes. Just observe that it is just a thought. It's just telling you to open your eyes, but you're not opening your eyes. That is also a thought. Keep on giving number to your thoughts. And slowly and slowly, whenever you're comfortable, taking a long deep breath and breathe out, open your eyes whenever you're comfortable. Hmm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, what was your observation in that
And,
brief?
slowly, there's lessening.
Okay.
First, they were coming faster, and then the gap began happening, and then there was no thought. You're able to go into that space.
You also experienced this space of no thought.
Yes.
Okay. And what was the experience in that no thought space?
Just blankness.
Okay.
Nothing much. There's nothing much to do. Just blankness.
If you have
Calm.
to give any emotion to that blankness, what kind of emotion it was? Was it sad or joy?
I would give it that peacefulness.
Peacefulness. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes. So that is the peace that I'm talking about. That is
Yeah.
the peace. That is a happy thought state.
Mhm.
Move beyond your thoughts. You become the witnesser of thoughts,
Mhm.
and you see these thoughts as just coming and going.
Mhm.
Instead of getting attached to those conversations and thoughts, and someone says something to you, or probably there's some person who is shouting at you, or if there is a probably financial loss that you're facing, or probably you just in my case, a few days back, a car hit me, and I was just witnessing those thoughts, and I was witnessing those thoughts, or no fearful thought what is going to happen. I was able to resolve that conflict very easily because I was in a state of joy. I was taking decision from the state of joy and happy thoughts. And not only that, I also become courageous enough to deal with those 10 people around, because there were about 10 people who just across me, jumped over me. And I was very cool and calm, and I just called police, and things got resolved in that accident. So hadn't been not becoming a witness of those thoughts, I would have been like really crying, and I don't know what would have happened. I would make wrong decisions, I was shouting at them, or probably getting angry, and so on and so forth. But because I just was in that state somehow, I just came out of the meditation and just had an accident at that time. So I'm just sharing that similarly, when you are constantly practicing these witnessing part, or for example, in my case, I practice savers. In your case, you can practice any other meditations. When you do that, you go beyond the situation. You become beyond your thoughts, and that's kind of happy thoughts I'm talking about.
Great. That is a good exercise to do. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Shivani, would you like to share your experience? Meena ji has also joined us.
Yeah, it was very peaceful. Like actually you end up in a state of having complete peace.
Yeah, no thought space.
And I have to be honest with you, or probably you can share more about it, because it's just 20-minute session that you're talking about. So are you feeling, you also feel some kind of power within when you found that state, that you are powerful to face
Yes.
any situation?
Peace is power.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I just wanted to go from the concept to the experience. That's why I'm asking this question to you. So, in my case, yes, in many of the cases when you are in the state of joy, you can unleash a lot of other qualities. One of the quality is power. So there are different qualities that you can experience and express, which is of compassion sometimes courage also, which is required. When you go to that state, your intuition takes over, and you express the required qualities, whatever situation is requiring from outside.
Yes. Awesome. Rajvin, would you like to say something?
I experienced a little bit of bliss, because I actually, when I go into meditative state, even in my laughter meditation, it is kind of a yoga nidra.
Mhm.
It's like kind of like a trance,
Mhm.
kind of like I was like it's the same feeling that happens to me in prayer, in Gurdwara, in every time I listen to Gurbani.
Yeah.
It's the same feeling,
Mhm.
and it's manifest happy thoughts, and you will become what you think. So that is why I started laughter yoga. Laughter yoga also brings the power in peace, and therefore peace is power with laughter.
Yeah.
So it's very, very powerful tool. Laughter and peace is very, very powerful tool.
Yeah.
And,
Very nice.
and I'm saying this because on behalf of the mothers who have premature children like me, and other mothers with premature born children, since prematurity day is tomorrow. So to never give up hope and accept your child as a blessing, because we bring peace to the world, and for us, peace is power.
Right. Very good.
Great. So thank you so much,
Thank
Raju.
you.
So other thing that, I also have learned, peace or world peace happens piece by piece. If you are taking care of your own peace and everybody is taking care of their own peace, there
Right.
is a peaceful world. That is first. That is another perspective.
Mhm.
The other thing that I want to come back to you, Meenuji, when you ask me what do you practice. So now this is a badge that I wear.
Mhm.
This badge name is called Happy Thoughts,
Happy thoughts.
right?
Yes. Mhm.
And we are a community of happy thoughts people, and I belong to a community of Tejgan Foundation, and we greet each other with happy thoughts, and
Mhm.
we are happy thoughts back. Now, what happens in
Mhm.
it's a reminder for me, not for me, not I'm taking
Everyone.
the reminder, but people give me reminders. So there
Mhm.
was one occasion when I was getting very angry at
Mhm.
people's behavior in the metro, and there was one guy who came, "Faltu ka happy thoughts ka batch laga hai wo." Oh my God, what am I doing? so I get
Right.
reminders from people also, from a home, from a family.
Yeah.
So this is also you can do as put as a reminder, whatever you want to do. Peace as a reminder, people can
Absolutely. So
remind.
we need that batch at times. We
Sometimes
desperately
you
need
can create your
it.
own batch of peace,
We
peace
need to
power.
distribute it all over the world nowadays.
Yeah, you can create a batch peace is power. You can put it here, and people can remind you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Vinay. That was an amazing session from you, and we really loved it. And thank you for that meditation as well. And you really given power to peace with
Thank
your
you so
thoughts.
much. Thank you. I
Thank you.
really appreciate. And before I go, I also would like to tell you that my organization has more than 200 types of meditation. So I would
Okay.
recommend a book called "The Source Power of Happy Thoughts." You can go ahead on the Amazon and buy that. So you find more perspectives on happy thoughts and peace and power there.
Great.
So I recommend everyone who is watching this channel. So the book name is The Source Power of Happy Thoughts. It's endorsed by Sashi also, endorsed by Shah Rukh Khan also, the famous actor, and more than 1 crore copies have been sold. You can go ahead and buy that. It's very reasonably priced, and you can just go and buy the book from the Amazon.
Thank you for that information. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We
Thank you, madam.
conclude our evening today, bringing more